Communication is key in every relationship, either in a marriage or in friendship, and that is one problem Gotham has. He failed to draw a clear line between his past love and his new life. Gotham goes through a roller coaster of life for the short period that he meets Aranya again. Will this be his turning point? We'll find out. In the opening scene of Thirakato, we see Arthai, a small girl, playing with her dad at the central railway station as they wait for her mother to come. The atmosphere is wholesome as he cares for his daughter. He calls his wife when he sees that she's taking too long, and she apologizes, promising to be there soon, as she was busy and the rain is not helping matters. In the car, Aranya feels relieved that she's in the car and not under the rain. But her thoughts are cut off by Prakash, who's annoyed that he had to take her to the station under the rain and the traffic. Just as he finished complaining, a car hits theirs from behind, enraging Prakash. Aranya tries to calm him down, but to no avail, because he has already jumped out of the car and started making a scene. Aranya gets out and tries to calm him down, under the rain and the glares of the other strangers, but Prakash slaps her, embarrassing her in front of everyone. Fed up, she takes her things from the car and heads to the train station. At the station, Gotham's wife Vandhana finally arrives, and she explains that it's been busy at the office. She's tired and annoyed that he brought Arthai with him, but lets it slide. Gotham apologizes sarcastically, as he had no idea she was that busy, and brought Arthai because the girl insisted. He is not happy because she has not smiled at him even though he's going to be away for a week, and she gives him a very sarcastic one, asking if it's enough. They say their goodbyes and hug before Gotham enters the train. The train starts its movement and stops at platform number 1, where Gotham steps down to get tea. As he's waiting for the tea to be made, Aranya steps down too, and Gotham, who notices her, is surprised by what his eyes have shown him. The air between them seems rather heavy, but they still catch up, and find out they're both on the same train and both heading to Mangalore. With the train about to move, Gotham gets his tea and they head inside. To relieve the awkward atmosphere, Aranya asks about his family, which gets them talking. An attendant saves them the trouble of awkwardly leaving as he tells them to go back to their seats. The next day, the train reaches its destination, and Gotham and Aranya find each other after getting down. As they're exchanging numbers to keep in touch, Aaron, Gotham's friend, who's wondering what's keeping him long and has already called the coach for him, interrupts them and ends up meeting Aranya. Gotham introduces them, and they exchange pleasantries before heading their different ways. On their taxi ride to the house, Aaron sources information about Aranya and confirms his thoughts that Aranya was Gotham's love while he was in school. He teases his friend, saying he is lucky as he can never have a chance to run into an ex-lover. They reach the house, and Gotham observes the place, looking around. Knowing his friend, Aaron tells him to quickly wash up and get back, as the client's company manager is already waiting at the factory. Aaron quickly briefs Gotham about the nuisance the company manager is, so that he knows what to expect. When Gotham is about to go to his room, he gets a call from his family, who check if he traveled okay. At their workshop, Gotham starts work and experiences firsthand the annoying company manager, who wants to go on a honeymoon with his new wife of 20 years old. Meanwhile, Aranya is taken to a school, where she is introduced as the representative of Odin, a company in Chennai that has come to hear about their amenities, because the owner is keen on helping their infrastructural development. As the introduction is going on, Aranya gets a message from Gotham asking her out for dinner. Back in Chennai, in the errand company, Prakash tries to get away from work, using the injury as an excuse. His boss is angry, wondering why they involved more people if the safety equipment wasn't enough, before telling him to get out. Frustrated at the response of his boss, Prakash hits his car in anger when he gets outside, and calls Aranya to pour out his anger on her, asking where the papers from their car are. Aranya, who excused herself from the class to answer Prakash's call, is annoyed by his shouting. She does not want to deal with him, and promises to send soft copies of the car papers. In a bad mood from Prakash's call, Aranya doesn't seem to get back into the groove of the class again, and finally accepts Gotham's request for dinner. At the restaurant, Gotham and Aranya seem more comfortable with each other, even years after college. At Aranya's request, Gotham shows her Arthai and Vandhana's pictures and she shows him Prakash's picture, but that is after searching for a while. She lies through her teeth that he's a nice guy who takes care of her. Gotham also lies that Vandhana has time for the family, but by the time they settle down to eat their food, they both realize they're lying, as they can't deceive each other, and they laugh about it. Gotham sees her off, catching her a cab before she goes, and she's grateful as she sincerely had a nice time. Back in their house, Gotham joins Aaron, who's drinking alone by the balcony, and Aaron teases him for leaving his friend alone to meet his ex-love, instead of his girlfriend like normal people. Gotham wonders how Aaron has not gotten bored, since he's been living in Mangalore without his family. But contrary to Gotham's thought, Aaron is rather happy to be away from his nagging wife and noisy children. Shaking his head at his friend, Gotham steps away, making a call home to check up on his wife, but her response is rather dull and not encouraging. She complains that she wants to wake up early for work, and Arthai is already asleep. Gotham lifts his bad mood by looking at Aranya's picture. On his way to work the next day, Gotham calls Aranya and meets her at Cudgerley School in 10 minutes. Day after day, they spend time with each other, shocking Aaron. One day, seated at the beach, Aranya asks if Gotham still likes her. She wonders why he would even like her, after she chose her parents over him when they opposed their relationship. But Gotham has forgotten about it, as time has passed and life has moved on. Standing up to take a walk instead, Gotham asks if she ever thought of him, and she reveals she did. Most likely because of her failed marriage, especially since she and Parkash fight every day. Trying to let it pass, Gotham makes it known that every couple fights. Aranya frustratingly tells him of the painful things involved, like slapping her and sending her out of the house. What makes it worse is that her parents always send her back, even though she runs to them. This leaves a sour taste in Gotham's mouth. Not knowing what to say, he tries to comfort her. At the workshop, Gotham and his team test the machine they are working on in front of their boss, but it seems to be faulty, and stops midway. He informs him that the company needs to step in to rectify it. Although the man is wary of sending it, he later promises to discuss it with the managing director. On his way back, Gotham calls Aranya to cancel their plans, because he has a client to meet in Mumbai to convince the chairman to give them more time to work on the machine. He promises to call her when he arrives, but he does not know when he'll be back in Mangalore. After reaching his destination, Gotham gets to talk with his client, who's very pleased with him and gives them extra time. During dinner, he video calls Aranya informing her he'll be back the next day, since he has to follow the train. Asleep on the train the next day, Gotham thinks he's dreaming when he sees Aranya waking him up, but it turns out to be reality. Shocked, he asks why she came to get him, and she confesses that she missed him, and wanted to see him 1 hour earlier. Outside the train on their way back, Gotham, who had been thinking about her earlier gesture, tries to find out why she's trying, even though they'll both go back to their lives after they leave Mangalore in a few days. Aranya explains that she just wants to share smiles with him. In their house, Gotham hurries Aaron, who's blowing air into balloons while he tries to light the candles on the cake, because Aranya will soon be there. He sees her through the window and throws the lighter at Aaron and tells him to do the job. He runs out to cover Aranya's face. Aranya is surprised by the small celebration, and plays along until she breaks it that it's not her birthday. Oops. Aaron is annoyed that he had to work to design the place, but calms down when Gotham explains that he wanted to celebrate her birthday since he won't be able to meet her on the real one. Aaron gets a call from the office and has to leave, but not before telling Aranya happy birthday in advance. Alone, Aranya thanks Gotham for making her happy, and they hug. They seem to forget themselves and are about to kiss, but get interrupted by Aranya's phone blasting with Parkash's name on display. Coming to her senses, Aranya hurriedly leaves the house. Gotham tries to get to her for days, but she doesn't pick up his call. He apologizes to her through texts, and as days go by, his work comes to an end. He texts Aranya one last time, apologizing and informing her that he'll be waiting at the station, because he has to go, and will regret not seeing her before he leaves. On the day he's meant to leave, he waits for her for a long time before she comes. They apologize to each other for the mistake they almost made, and promise not to meet each other once in Chennai. Though it's painful, they have to do this, because they can't afford any other mistakes. But Gotham almost loses his resolve at Aranya's tears. Saying their goodbyes at the sound of the moving train, Gotham runs, jumping on the train. On the train ride, Aaron warns him to drop his silly distraction in Mangalore, and Gotham promises that his full focus will be on his family back in Chennai. Gotham makes it home, and Arthai is very happy to see her father. He checks her schoolwork, and is proud that she got a compliment from her teacher. He gives her the teddy bear he bought for her, which she receives joyfully. Vanhana is glad he is home, but her reaction does not seem to express it. This disappoints Gotham greatly, especially when she doesn't react to the gift he got her. Gotham, seeing how stressed Vanhana is, tells her to leave Arthai's preparation for school to him, and she's very grateful. Gotham pays more attention to the needs of his wife, like doing the dishes, ironing, and so on, much to her surprise and satisfaction. It's like she falls in love with him again with every thoughtful thing he does. The last thing that greatly impresses her is when she comes home from work to meet Arthai eating, and the house clean. She meets Gotham cooking and asks what's gotten into him, and he confesses that he wants to love her more and be happy. Touched by his words, she hugs him, happy to tell him she loves him. On the other hand, Aranya reaches home to see everything scattered. Parkash is surprised to see that she's back, claiming he wouldn't have ordered food had he known. A different reality here. They get into an argument almost immediately, and Parkash walks out of the house, not wanting to lose his cool. At work, Aranya's colleague and friend notices her pale face, and knows right away that it's her usual argument with her husband. Back at home, Aranya is on a call with her boss when Parkash gets back, giving her space. He checks for food, but when he finds none, he brings the gas and cooker to the parlor, casually throwing cooking equipment on the table while smiling ominously. Meanwhile, things seem to be going well with Gotham and his family. Parkash and Aranya go for a company dinner, where Parkash introduces her to his MD. Aranya and Parkash's MD get into an intelligent conversation, and Parkash gets annoyed that their conversation seems to be going well. The MDs joke that his wife is smart, and that he might just lay him off and employ her instead. Only adds coal to the burning fire. Immediately when they get home, Prakash gets into an argument on why she was talking smart, and it escalates into a fight, where he beats Aranya mercilessly, leaving her crying on the floor. The neighbors even wonder if he's human. The next day, when Prakash returns home, Aranya is nowhere to be found, and her luggage is gone. In his office, Gotham receives a message about a guest at the front desk, and he's not so happy when he sees Aranya. They go to the rooftop, and there, Aranya shows him her face. Gotham is worried for her, because she came unexpectedly, but doesn't know what to do. When she hugs him all of a sudden, he doesn't push her away, though he doesn't seem to long for her any longer. She apologizes for coming to meet him first, then explains that she couldn't take it anymore, so she ran away from home and stayed at Sna, a friend's place. Gotham has to leave because he has a meeting, and they take the elevator. Before saying goodbye, he tells her to call him if she's in need. However, when Aranya says he's the only one for her, it feels obsessive and uncomfortable. After work one day, Sneha and Aranya are going home, but see her parents in front of the office building. They try to convince her to go back to Prakash, but she's fed up and shouts that she's not going to stay there and wait for her demise. Prakash, who was in the car, angrily steps down to try and drag her, but Aranya's father calms him down. Aranya pleads with them to see Prakash for who he is, and when Prakash tries to slap her again, she slaps him in front of everyone. Embarrassed, he walks back to his car, and her parents follow suit, because they know whatever they try to say to her will be futile. The next day while Gotham is at work, Aranya calls him, asking if she needs to be in trouble before she can speak to him. He says no, even though he doesn't feel comfortable and has to go to a meeting. During his meeting, she keeps calling, and his MD tells him to pick up the call, but he doesn't. Noticing it's Aranya, Aaron asks what's going on, and when he explains everything, Aaron tells him to handle it well. Aranya just needs someone to lean on, and he shouldn't fall into the trap. Aranya keeps calling Gotham at every opportunity she has, and Gotham is stressed by her obsessive nature. Fed up, he blocks her WhatsApp when she keeps messaging him, and one day, while he's having dinner with Vandhana and Arthai at a restaurant, she chats him up with another number. Gotham is scared of what she'll do when he notices that she is in the restaurant too, but she just passes them, to his relief. Wanting to cross the line, Gotham asks Aranya to meet. She's happy to see him, and pretends that she doesn't notice he's uncomfortable. He asks her why she's doing this, and she claims she can't get him in the moments they spent in Mangalore out of her head. Gotham begs her to leave him alone, as he has a family, but she sternly tells him to leave them, believing that Gotham is meant for her. Gotham finally sees the dangerous light, and firmly tells her to leave him alone, making Aranya shocked. In the next scene, Gotham is having a wholesome time with his family as they try to wake him up. Awake, he steps onto the balcony of his house and sees that Aranya has moved in next door. Scared and shocked, he runs to the bathroom and calls Aaron, but Aaron is no help, as he just teases him and tells him to pray. The next day, while Gotham is having a quick breakfast before rushing to work, he looks out the window and sees Aranya, causing him to choke on his food. Immediately, Vandhana and Arthai leave, and he goes to her house to confront her. But she seems to be on drugs, saying that she wants to see him from afar, since she can't be with him. Gotham updates Aaron while they get tea outside the office, and Aaron advises him to avoid her till they come up with what to do with her. Gotham does all he can to avoid Aranya, throwing away all the secret notes she keeps in his car and not even going out to his balcony again. Meanwhile, Aranya is processing her divorce and trying to get closer to Gotham through his wife and daughter. Gotham becomes so frustrated by this that one night, he asks his wife if they should move out, giving stupid reasons, making her think he's crazy. In the next scene, Aaron visits Gotham at his house and experiences seeing Aranya through the balcony, and finds it creepy. Gotham is relieved that he finally gets it. While Aranya is with her friend, she gets a call from her lawyer that Prakash has agreed to the divorce, much to her relief. In his house, Gotham receives an unexpected visit from Aranya. He only opens the door because he thinks it is his wife. He tells her to leave since his wife will soon be home, but having studied their schedule already, she knows they won't be home for a while. Aranya wants to celebrate her birthday with Gotham, but Gotham is not as enthusiastic as he was in Mangalore. They are interrupted by a knock on the door, notifying him of Vandhana and Arthai's arrival. Panicking, he hides Aranya on the balcony and has to lie that he got the cake, as Arthai noticed it. Gotham does his best to make sure that Vandhana doesn't notice Aranya, and they go about their normal evening. Gotham finds the opportunity to let Aranya out when his wife and daughter fall asleep. She sees that her cake has been destroyed, and leaves the place dejected. Gotham feels bad for making Arya sad, and when she no longer contacts him, he is left in a bad mood. Vandhana notices it, and tries to get him to speak up, but he can't tell her as he'll have to explain his relationship with Aranya. When she insists, he speaks rudely, putting her in a bad mood. Meanwhile, with all that has been happening, Aaron believes that loving someone while you're married is much more of a problem than love. He denies that he loves her, and that in Mangalore, he just wanted some closure with his ex-love, but presently he's just concerned. When Gotham finally hears from Aranya through the secret messages, he meets her without hesitating. At the beach, she wants to know whether he missed her, or it was good riddance, and feels proud when he says both. She takes him back in time to their life as lovers in college, reminding him of their first fight, the trip they went to. She shows him the picture of the fortune teller who lied that their relationship will last, and starts crying as reality dawns on her. Now she's trying to piece their relationship together, and he comforts her. Reaching home, Gotham is not in a good mood, such that he doesn't even notice that Vanhana is wearing the sari he got her when she welcomes him warmly. This ruins her mood. In their room, Vanhana practices how she'll break the news of her pregnancy to Gotham. She follows him to the parlor, where he's watching football, and asks if she can talk to him. But when his attention is not on her, she angrily drops the test result on his lap and walks away. Seeing it, Gotham realizes what he has done. He seeks her out in the kitchen, apologizing and hugging his wife for the new addition to their family. In the next scene, Gotham opens the transparent door leading to the balcony, and on seeing Aranya, he closes it. She blocks his route in the parking lot as he tries to go to work, wondering why, yet again, he has started ignoring her. But he doesn't answer, as he has a determination in his eyes not to get involved with her again. In the middle of the night, Aranya calls his phone, almost waking Vanhana, but Gotham works it out by saying Aaron drunk dialed him. She threatens him, saying he should come out or she'll go to his house, and he has no choice but to go out. Outside, Aranya tells Gotham that they're leaving on a trip that weekend, because there are many distractions in Chennai. He assures her that he was just carried away with the mood, and can't afford to leave his family. She threatens him to leave Vanhana, because if he doesn't, she'll tell her that they're in a relationship, and go further to stamp the date of their trip. Exasperated, Gotham returns to his bed. But unfortunately Vanhana is awake, and notices when he returns. The next day, Vanhana tries to unlock Gotham's phone, but she can't because he removed her fingerprint. On her way to work, she mistakenly dials Aaron's line and finds out by chance that he's been practicing austerity for the upcoming pilgrimage for a week now. Remembering Gotham's excuse that Aaron drunk dialed him the previous night, she becomes suspicious. In the next scene, Sneha tries to discourage Aranya from her pursuit of Gotham, but Aranya believes Gotham still loves her. Also, since she thought of him first after her freedom, she is determined to pursue him. Meanwhile, in their office, Aaron tells Gotham to come clean with Vanhana, because currently, he didn't do anything wrong, since Aranya is the one taking it the wrong way. But Gotham is reluctant, feeling it's too late, especially since Aranya moved next door, and he doesn't want to disturb his pregnant wife. Aaron is shocked that Vanhana is pregnant in this messy situation. On her way home, Aranya comes across Arthai being bullied. She advises her not to play with the bullying children anymore, and Arthai innocently tells her that she won't, since she's going to get a little brother. The news devastates Aranya, who takes out her frustration by scattering things in the house and crying her eyes out. The next day, Aranya watches with anger as Gotham pecks his wife and her stomach. After dropping Arthai at school, Vanhana goes to the phone shop to get a new SIM card. She poses as her husband's secret lover, asking if they can meet, and he answers that he can't confirm, because he's seeing someone. Her suspicion is confirmed, and this breaks her heart. Aranya follows Gotham, blocking his way so he can't drive. Out of their cars, she asks while crying if he ever really loved her, after she left everything for him. He confesses that he regrets ever loving her, and that she deserves men like Prakash. Devastated, Aranya hastily crosses the road, almost ending, but Gotham stops her. Frustrated, he apologizes for saying mean things, and she hugs him while crying. He tries his best to comfort her, but pushes her away when he sees Vanhana looking at them from the other end of the road. Gotham goes after her immediately. In their house, he tries to calm down an angry Vanhana, who hurriedly packs her things and is leaving the house. Gotham speedily explains everything that has happened since Mangalore, and that they were former lovers, but she just stares daggers at him before entering her car and zooming off. That night, Gotham goes to Vanhana's mother's house, where she's staying, and tries to talk with her. Arthai wants to be with her dad, but Vanhana doesn't open the door till her mother begs her to hear him out. He apologizes for not telling her about Aranya ever since Mangalore, but Vanhana is angry. She's angry that he expects her to forgive him like that, asking him to put himself in her shoes. She tells him to leave, not even allowing Arthai to talk with him. Gotham tries to reach Vanhana, but she doesn't pick up his call, even when she misses him. Gotham decides to stay at Aaron's house, because he doesn't want Aranya to harass him again, and even Aranya restrains herself from contacting Gotham. At Vanhana's mom's place, her mother begs her to try to reconcile with Gotham, considering Arthai and the baby in her womb, but with her stubborn heart, she refuses to listen. The next day, before going to school, Arthai picks up an ice cream flyer. In school, she informs her friend that she's going to see her dad, since the ice cream shop is opposite her dad's office. After school, when Vanhana comes to pick her up, she sneaks away and mixes up in the crowd so Vanhana doesn't see her. She succeeds in taking a cab to the ice cream place, but soon loses her way. Meanwhile, Vanhana, who's been searching for Arthai, is worried after confirming with her mother that her daughter isn't home. She informs Gotham, confessing that she's worried and is going to the police station. At the police station, the police confirm that she is not at any relative's place and asks if Vanhana had received any strange calls or if she suspected anyone. Vanhana, who thinks of Aranya, leads them to her house, since her phone is switched off. Aranya is surprised that Vanhana accused her of such and assures them that she's not the one, but the police end up slapping her, asking her to confess. At that moment, Gotham walks in, vouching that Aranya is not the one, because he has known her and was in love with her for a long time. They believe him and go in search of Arthai. Vanhana and Gotham take one car, and Aranya secretly searches for the small girl too. Sighting her first, Aranya gets to her, hugging her in relief. Coincidentally, she gets to listen as the innocent child complains about the strained relationship between her parents. Feeling guilty, Aranya promises that her parents will be together, and is genuinely happy when they're reunited. In the last scene, Gotham and Aranya meet at a train station. Aranya apologizes for the damage she caused. Wary of his silence, she questions it, and he confesses that he once dreamt that they were married, but kept it a secret. Finally, he admits that their love is like that, and will remain a secret forever, as it will cause a lot of trouble if they let it out. Aranya understands, especially since she remembers when he stood up for her. He tries to find out what she'll do after all this, but she sincerely doesn't know. However, it is alright, since she has him in her heart. With the sound of the train, she has to go, and she doesn't allow Gotham to see her off, or even hug her. With a heavy heart, she watches him leave. They finally understand that theirs is a love that will never be. It is a burden they will bear till the end of their lives.